Hi, my name is Eric. This is the official start to my video log of my 2019 Thru-hike of the Pacific Crest Trail. For those of you who don't know me, I grew up in California. I lived in the Central Valley pretty much my whole life, up and down that. Travel all around California, so that's really my kind of home state. I'm a recent move within the last 4 years to Bellevue, Washington, where I've been working here as an IT manager for a hospital, doing infrastructure and security. As I've been telling my friends and family about this crazy adventure of mine, the number one question that keeps coming up is, why are you doing this? And I figure that's a good thing to address on a video. One, to memorialize it for myself, and two, to explain to those of you who are still wondering why I'm doing this. It really breaks down to three things. The first reason for me going out on the trail is health related. A couple of years back, I started having problems with my shoulder and arm, getting massive muscular pain shooting down my arm, actually getting numbness and tingling throughout my arm. Was very difficult for me to sleep. I was getting maybe 1 to 2 hours of sleep a night. Turns out I had a bulging disc in my neck that was impinging a nerve and causing all kinds of problems down there. Anti-inflammatories didn't work, so I ended up needing to get an injection in my neck of steroids. And that pretty much took the problem away. But it does resurface from time to time, and lately it's been coming back, probably due to a slip I had out on the trail when I was doing some practice hikes and knocked my head way back. That doesn't even feel good to do. So I'm still getting a little bit of twitching in my arm, and if I sleep wrong now, I can't. I get a numb hand. I can't sleep on my side anymore, unfortunately. So I'm kind of back to that. But still want to go out on the trail even with that. I guess me going out with this problem anyway is kind of my equivalent of screaming into the storm. I don't want to make this define me or be a problem that I can't recover from. I've always been pretty healthy and I've always been pretty active, so I don't want this to be the thing that gets me down, so I'd rather go out and do things. So this is going to be my big do thing and kind of prove to myself that I've still got what it takes. The second reason is really exploration, adventure. I've always been a lifelong learner, and I love the opportunities for discovery that this hike's going to give. I've hiked a lot around, but just as a day hiker. I've always gone out, hiked for the day, come back to the car, go home, get cleaned up. So for me, I've never been a really big overnight backpacker, and I've probably only at this point done 5 or 6 overnights in my life. So this is going to be a real new adventure for me. But what's really exciting for me is one of the things that annoys me about a day hike is you go out a certain ways and then you have to come back. And that backtracking always bothered me. I always got to some point on the trail, some terminus, and then having to come back always felt wrong with me. I always wanted to go forward. Well, this trail is going to give me that in spades, going forward. And there may be some backtracking, but there's going to be a lot of discovery around what's around that corner. Some of the most inviting photos to me are the ones where you see a picture of a trail going off into nature, where you see that trail and you want to explore where it goes. Well, this is really going to scratch that itch for me. Going out and actually being able to see what's around that bend and keep going. I mean, I know what's at the end, but you don't know what you're going to find along the way. So for me, this is really going to excite me to see the new sights, the new sounds, the new animals, the new plants, all of these things that I haven't experienced, that I get to experience firsthand. So that's really a really exciting part and one of the biggest reasons I'm doing it. The third reason is growth. One of my core values is continual self-growth. And I can't think of something that would give you more growth than something like this. I firmly believe that you cannot grow unless you leave your comfort zone. You cannot grow. if you think back to any time that you've really improved something in your life, gotten better discipline, gotten a better outlook on things, it always comes after not a good time, but a bad time. It comes after stress, it comes after discomfort. You need the discomfort, you need the stress, and you need to be able to deal with that in order to become a better you. So, while that's scary, especially on this trip, because there are so many unknowns, there's unknown dangers, there are unknown threats. I mean, I have to hitchhike. I've never done that before, so that's going to be an unknown. There are things I don't know how to do. I'm not an experienced camper, so that's going to be new. So there's a lot of new things that you have to deal with. While that's scary, that's also exciting because in dealing with them, I know I'll get better at them, and those will become just a thing I know how to do. Won't be fear-inducing anymore. It'll just be the status quo. One of the biggest things that scares me, other than the Sierras with all its deathly snow and river crossings, is just this. What I'm doing right now, talking to you on this camera, is probably one of the scariest things for me. I've never been a look at me person. I've never been really comfortable having myself filmed or photographed. So this is one of my personal challenges. One of my personal leave your comfort zone areas is to talk to you, to put myself out there online and just see where that goes. I assume that after I've done this for a while, this thing that feels so awkward for me to do right now, to speak to a camera, to speak to nobody, but no, I'm speaking to somebody, to do that too will feel normal at some point, because if you do things long enough, they just feel normal after a while and they don't feel so strange. So at least that's my theory right now. That's worked for me in the past. So this is just yet another challenge. So I really like that notion of growth. And if I look back just on my preparation over the months I've been preparing for this trail, I think of things that I've learned already. I've learned so much about ultralight backpacking and how to pick gear. I've learned the knots I might need to have to tie on the trail. I've learned about first aid, gone to a wilderness first aid course just to kind of get myself up to speed on that. Read multiple books on threats such as bears, mountain lions, lightning, those types of things that don't scare me as much, but well, the lightning does. But the other two scare a lot of other people. It's best to go into that with your eyes open and informed, and I've learned so much already. So at this point, I've learned a ton, and I really like that part. So I'm excited going forward to see what else I'm going to learn. I don't know how this will impact me or how it will change me, and that's one of the exciting things about this, is when you go into something that's so challenging, that causes you to leave your comfort zone in so many ways, to be cold, to be dirty, to not know what's coming next, to have to face something that's dangerous and potentially life-threatening, to have to go through all of that. How will that transform oneself? How will that make you a better person? How will that impact you? That one is something that I'm excited to see. That's one of the reasons I'm going into this, because I know that there will be hardship, there will be awesome, really good things, and a really bad thing. So you're going to have your best and worst days probably on an adventure like this, which is something to say. So I'm really looking forward to this journey, just to see kind of what happens. I like the idea of the unknown and the exploration and the growth, and documenting like this, while uncomfortable now, I think will be a really nice thing. One, I can have it for myself. Two, I can share it with all of you who would like to watch. And hopefully I'll be a little more comfortable on camera as we go along. I'm sure I will be. That's part of this exercise after all. If you have any comments that you'd like to make, put them in the comments and I'll try to check those out, or someone will let me know that you've got a question, or if you want to have me talk about something, I can try to do that too. So I know sometimes it's you have questions. I did when I was first starting this, and I'm sure I'll have more answers as I go along, at least as they relate to myself. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for me now, and I guess I will look forward to seeing you on the trail.